Now, insurance agents say your comprehensive car insurance will cover this: broken glass, pried open doors, or even damage to your vehicle. But what it won't cover is stolen items from inside the vehicle, like your wallet or your cell phone. Now, the helicopter has helped flush out about 25 of these illegals. If you look over right here, they're loading them up into this bus. Now, the Ponce say as soon as it warms up out here, the water inside of these tires will be the perfect breeding ground for mosquitoes. Residents here on Garza Street are tired of illegal crossers camping out here at this abandoned house. So, one neighbor is taking matters into his own hands. Now, when the Navarros found out that they couldn't get plumbing on the property, they realized their down payment went down the drain. Now, whether truck drivers know illegals are hiding up in the airfoils or not, they face big fines when they reach the checkpoint. Now, the city of FAR says they're taking a proactive approach to getting rid of these tires. In 2 weeks, they'll be paying you cash to get rid of this rubber. Now, for the past month, Ray and his wife have been forced to shower here at the park's public bathroom. Residents say that this drain here has sort of become known as the tunnel to freedom. Well, right now, the city is doing nothing. Plans for a new sewage lift station is in the works. Until it's constructed, the family behind the station will just have to keep cleaning the you-know-what off the bottom of their shoes. Now, Perez says he'd like to sleep inside the fireworks stand here so he could stretch his legs out. Now, Fonseca says that the big problem here is that all of this rock that's coming off the road is piling up. Now, even after you've killed the bees, it's not uncommon for those bees to come back to your home several times. So this is what you need to do to prevent that from happening. Get yourself some filler like this steel wool here and stick it in any space that's bigger than a dime-sized hole. Now, the water department says the yellow water that's coming out of these pipes isn't dirt, it's actually mineral deposits. You see, over time, natural mineral deposits cling to the inside of the tube here and create these chips. If there's a break in the pipe or a water pressure level drops, these chips break off and dissolve into the water, making the yellow water. It's not dangerous. You can actually eat them. When help arrived, this is how Gandhi was positioned. 1 foot stuck underneath the brake pedal here. And if you go around, you can see his back is stuck behind the lever over here. One thigh burning on the transmission case, the other thigh burning against the engine casing. Now, if you are going to use a fire extinguisher to put out flames, you're going to want to remember this acronym, PASS. It's basic instructions on how to use the extinguisher. Pull the pin, aim at the fire, squeeze, and then sweep at the flames.
Flames were just...
Kano has 2 items on her layaway plan, the earrings and the ring. She wanted this layaway plan separated. That way she could have 2 separate payment plans. Now, she says the only way Easy Pawn could do this is if they voided the plan altogether. Sauceda's now got a new problem. His brush pile is attracting some unwanted guests. Now, Precinct 1 says whoever filled these potholes may have had good intentions, but it's not going to speed up the repair process. You see, when you fill these holes with improper material, workers have to remove it before they can start repairing. Now, we're about 100 yards in the pipe, and I don't know where I am. The road drain above me lets in a breath of fresh air. You know, you can definitely see here, it's not that hard to get turned around. If you just look behind me here, there's like several different ways. Now, in just a few weeks, Raymondville will be holding their annual graduation ceremony on this field. But when that happens, it's not going to look this pretty green color. It's actually going to look a lot like this.
Thus far,
all you have to do is find the center point and then smash the window. Many of the residents here are pretty baffled. They're finding fish in the street. They say they don't know where this water is coming from, but the nearest lake where this fish may have come from is over 3 miles away. Now, if the district does want to make repairs on this building, they have to act fast. A surge valve is like having 2 workers, one on each side of the field. Under the authority of the Immigration Nationality Act, a CBP officer has the right to search a person or their belongings without a warrant. So that means if they believe there's hidden drugs behind this panel here, they can check it. If they believe that there's some firearms behind your glove box, they'll look there too. If they think there's some illegal fruits or vegetables in this glove box, They can rip it open and check it, all without a warrant. The valley has 6 electrical generation units here in the valley. For demonstration purposes, think of electricity as water pressure in these hoses, and these buckets down here as homes consuming electricity. Here's what happens when one of the electrical generation sites shut down. The others can't keep up with the needs, so they shut down a portion of the grid. When this happens, electrical companies have to find electricity from further distances. This can take time and a lot of coordination. Currently, the cowboy decided to give the horse a rest. One of the big issues here is that this horse can't get out because it is cement right here. The horse can't get enough traction to get up. Now, witness testimony from illegal crossers states that Flores himself was actually holding a gun to them. Newlyweds are up against some pretty tough odds. We took a look at recent divorce rate numbers. Nationwide, 50% of marriages end in divorce. In Texas, about 48% of couples divorce. We pulled 5 years worth of divorce records from Hidalgo County, and this is what we found. The divorce rate is about 38%. State really can't give a clear answer on when the quarantine in Cameron County will be lifted. They have to continually monitor this situation here. If there's no pollinating bees, there's going to be a whole lot less fruit and vegetables. So I'm outside of the Progresso Police Department right now where there's an illegally parked car. There's not a handicap permit here, and I'm trying to report it, but the phones still aren't working. I guess I'll have to go ask the city council members now. On my way to the town hall building, I saw a few of the council members get into a truck. So here's the problem. Back in May, TxDOT deemed this bridge unsafe. It led her here to this dentist's office. When she arrived, she found something else surprising. It was inside this garbage can. To avoid a ticket from McAllen, this is what you need to do. Now, Victoria says this is just some of the disgusting things that are brought in from the flooding here. Hold on, can you tell us when John Chapman's truck is gonna be done? This woman told me to get off the property. We waited for the owner to return, this time off the shop's property. Now, obviously there's a big environmental concern here. This is a sulfuric acid lid. First off, they increased the gauge on their fence, then they increased the height to 6 feet.
Okay, you're here harassing me.
No, I'm not harassing.
This is private property where you're at. You need to leave.
The owner was done with the conversation. So this is how the device works. Inside the passive sediment sampler is a lipid membrane. That lipid membrane is supposed to mimic that of fish flesh. Now, fraud investigators in South Texas say there's one red flag you're going to want to look out for on your title, and it's this stamp right here. Now, here's the problem. When floodwater comes down here, debris just like this clogs up against the grates. So here's another problem Cavasso has to deal with. On the other side of this fence here, you can find hundreds of inner tubes just like this one littered on his property. Cavasso says illegal immigrants use these inner tubes to cross the Rio Grande, and when they do, the inner tubes are left here. Now, this little $20 box of contact lenses may seem cheap, but doctors say it could send you to the exam table and cost you big bucks in the end. All right, to give you a little bit better of an idea of just how dusty it is out here, this is what's accumulated on my arm in just 10 minutes here. Now, if somebody does breach the facility here, the city of McAllen has added these safety ropes, so that way if someone falls in the water, they can get out. Now, buying and selling these drugs can lead to legal recourse, but pharmacists say taking these drugs could be like playing Russian roulette.
Our Channel 5's John Bartell has more on the slimy organisms one student almost ingested.
Students at Mission High School say they have a good reason for not eating their vegetables. Worms were found inside the broccoli.